Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here with the winners of the Amazing Race. It's Derek and Claire here with Rob and Jess. Derek and Claire, how does it feel to be
on this podcast.
winner? Well, and be back on this podcast. To be finally winners.
Yeah. Wild.
I don't know how it feels. I've never felt this before.
I would not know. Yeah.
I was like, is this a feeling of accomplishment?
Pride? What is this?
Yes. If anybody's listening to the podcast version, wondering who is this old man who is talking, this is actually Derek. I am assuming it was a night of hard partying at the Amazing Race finale party.
Yeah. You know what they say, like money bears weight or whatever. So just having this money for the past 24 hours.
Mo money, mo problems.
Exactly. It's aged me 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a little bit of fun down here in Miami. It was a good time. Yeah. Fun celebration.
Yeah.
Wild. It's wild.
We were sorry we missed it.
Well, you guys would have loved it. You would have loved it.
We would have loved it.
But it's okay. It's understandable.
I think it might be a law of nature, possibly, to go. You can't go out with Louis and Michelle and not lose your voice.
Yeah, I think that's true. I'm assuming you all talk to more people who have also lost their voices.
Yeah. I think that might be like a fourth law of nature.
Yeah, I agree.
So I want to talk a little bit about like your ongoing takeover of the CBS reality TV landscape, especially Claire. Now I know that before you went on Big Brother, you were in Survivor fan circles and had played in Survivor games and whatnot. And then, of course, to go into Big Brother. And now with and Derek goes on the challenge in the middle of this and then goes on the Amazing Race. I don't have a sense of what your Amazing Race background was before going on the show.
Yeah. So my background with Amazing Race, I started watching it on 31 when the Survivor players were on there and other Big Brother players. That's what hooked me in. And then I watched, then it was like such a long break for 32. Watched 33, and in the meantime, in that gap, I really went back and I restarted watching old seasons. So I don't necessarily have like a super deep lore of Amazing Race, but when I find a show that I love, I'm going to binge it. Like I'm going to become obsessed. I think I'm an obsessive person with reality shows. Right. And so it's like, I go back, I watch all the seasons. I listen to random podcasts. I listen to you guys, recapping podcasts. Like, before I even was on Big Brother, it just is like, I am part of the reality TV fandom. Like I consume it. Like I think a lot of people do. Unlike Derek, very unlike Derek. But it's what I love. But I do not, unfortunately, have I watched this as a child when I was in second grade, but I loved it. And so when they knew we wanted to do the race and they kind of wanted us to do the race, it was like, this is perfect. This is amazing. Like very amazing, if you will. What an opportunity. So it was great. And then I forced Derek to watch about 20 seasons. So it was
wow.
Good.
Okay.
Claire, that is shocking to me, that you are such a newcomer because of the strategy that we saw you employing.
Yeah, I think that comes with, probably the strategy comes with having done Big Brother and having to think, I think, very strategic, but also when we were watching all the old seasons, we literally would take notes about, this is why the team lost, this is why the teams win. And so we had like a whole Excel sheet basically, and we would study. And so we'd really talk like, okay, what can we do differently? What do we need to avoid? We were very worried about getting boxed out. And so we're like, how do we work like a social game into this? So if there's an alliance, we'll be in it, even though we don't necessarily want to make one. So it was a really good combination of, I think Derek is very naturally good at strategy. Like it's like an amazing gift. I feel like I have worked very hard to learn strategy and like study it. But I think the combination of us, it was like, how can we do this strategically? because we won't be the fastest runners, because we won't be necessarily even the smartest people in there, what can we do to get an edge?
Oh, I definitely thought I was going to be the fastest runner.
Okay, I was dragging you down. I believe you might have been, but the average between us lower
Speak
guys.
for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. Claire, you mentioned the social game, which I thought was like a really key part of what you both brought to the Amazing Race, because I think it would have been very easy for the other teams to look at you both as sort of like an, other than us, like as a team who, and we've seen this before where teams carry themselves a little bit differently who have been on other reality shows before. How big of a part of what you were doing was to really make bonds with the other teams?
Like as soon as I met the other teams, I was like, Claire, I love them. Like, I was like, it was a great cast. These people are hilarious. I think the first time I saw Lewis, he was already like stripping. I was like,
Stripping?
yeah, on that boat, he was like taking his shirt off, putting his
yeah.
pants. I was like, this guy's hilarious. So that just continued to grow as the season went on. I really got to like enjoy all the teams. There's a lot of off time that doesn't get aired where we're just like traveling together or doing something, and you just get to know everyone super well. And I think it was just a nice confluence of two random things where I love these teams, so I'm hanging out with them. We're becoming like good friends, but then also that's also good for your game. So then there's like just came together and meshed really well, and almost like haphazardly.
Yeah. And I will say, we never talked about Big Brother. We were like, if we can we wanted to not talk about it whatsoever. We didn't want anyone to know. And I think like the first day, Tim and Rex were like, Big Brother over here. Like Tim, huge Big Brother fan.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
And he blew our cover immediately. And I think a couple other people had watched Big Brother and they were keeping it more hush hush.
Yeah.
But we never talked about it. We're like, yeah, what I do last summer, don't worry about it. Like, nothing much.
Yeah.
Like, just hanging out.
Did it ever come up with random people on the street? Like while you were out, did anybody recognize you?
Oh yeah, all
Yeah.
the time, especially Florence, but basically every country we ran.
In
someone recognized us.
Florence.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Florence! Like any turn we made, there were so many tourists. Every turn there was like someone, either race fan or Big Brother fan, coming up to us. I'd say that was like the third challenge we did that day.
Yeah. And I was not feeling good in Florence, post Ducati, in the back of the pack. And it was really like, everyone was like, Derek and Claire. And we were like, don't talk to us. It was really like the tightrope. It was before the tightrope, like please, no, only directions, nothing else.
So, Claire, you very famously had the binder going into Big Brother with all of your prep that you did. Was there anything that you did to prep for the Amazing Race that you found especially useful?
There was an Amazing Race Bible as well. It was not quite as long. It was really, we had notes over many devices.
It was like an Amazing Race, like Constitution. I would say it was like a shorter list.
Yeah.
Constitution shorter than a Bible. Yes.
I couldn't think of like a biblical reference for like a shorter.
Okay. Yeah. The tablet or something.
It's only the First Testament. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we did a lot of prep. Like my parents, my mom and my dad, really put on a boot camp for us. And so we prepped a lot of things, like random skills, but also, of course, how to drive stick, learn languages, learn flags, learned all of this. My mom made us learn how to double dutch. She was very paranoid that there would be double dutching on the show. And she was like, if we can prep this, you need to prep it. And I was like, why didn't you get me a tool set?
She taught us the most random thing. She taught us how to take a single thread of yarn and like spin it in between your forefinger and your thumb to make a ball, so it becomes a knot. Don't know why.
It was like a sewing, in case there's a sewing challenge.
Why would ever do
and we
this?
have to hand sew something.
We learned how to tie knots.
Yeah. We learned a lot of knot ties. And we really did just watch old seasons and we're like, why do teams lose? And let's learn these skills so that this doesn't happen to us. We're hacky sacking, anything we could do, we're doing it.
Is there anything you missed? Anything you wish you'd learned how to do?
I wish we went to the mountains, took out a cow, and started yodeling.
Yeah. Well, apparently my great grandma was a professional yodeler, or like my great aunt was a professional yodeler. So I had it in my blood. My grandma was very disappointed. She was like, I don't, those genes were recessive.
Not my daughter.
Yeah. She was like, I don't know what's going on
Give
here.
me a DNA test.
Definitely I wish I had worked with the toolkit. My mom and dad were like, oh, why don't you go on the back deck and like flip all the pieces of wood and like use a hammer and use a saw? And we're like, nah, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine.
What are the odds we're gonna use nails?
Yeah. And then and when we hit the building task, I was like, oh, they're like, Claire, the deck, what could have been?
Yeah, that's that Phil tough as nails influence. Did you get the sense that Phil was annoyed with the fake proposal?
I don't know. Okay, good question. Because I was watching it back. I missed it live. I saw like a clip of it, and I was like, "Is Phil laughing or is he like, oh my god?" I also could not tell. It was like right on the line between those two emotions. I don't remember what it really was. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to watch it frame by frame.
Yeah, we were pulling a lot of antics on the pit stop mat, I think. So I think he might have gotten a little tired of us. We were like joking about starting a family, and he was like, oh, and we're like getting a dog, and he was like, oh. So I think we might have pushed him over the edge a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, he has it coming.
All right. I know you two have a ton of interviews to do here today, so really appreciate you making time for us. I know you got to run. Would love the opportunity to talk with you both more at some point, maybe when Derek has had some time to recover. But
At
again,
least a cough drop.
yeah. But again, congratulations on the big win. It was so fun to watch you both on the series, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Great
Bye.
to your guys' podcast.
All right, we are here with the amazing second place finishers on this season of The Amazing Race 34. It's Emily and Molly. You're here with Rob and Jess. How are you two doing today?
Hi.
Yes.
We're doing good. I'm actually recovering from the cast party.
Yeah, but you're doing so much better than Derek X, who seems like such an amateur, completely lost his voice. So thank you two for both being such responsible partiers when you have all this exit press to do today.
Well, we do have a couple years on that.
All right, so first question, Emily, how is your leg after we saw everything you went through on the race?
Yeah, my leg is good. So I actually came home from the race with 2 fractured tibias. I had about 8 weeks of healing, so my bones are fully healed. And I have been in physical therapy just to get me back up and on my feet. I haven't started running again yet, but I hope to do that soon.
By the way, I did not know she had stress fractures in her
yeah,
tibias
nobody
when
knew.
I was yelling at
didn't
her.
know.
I'm yelling at her like, run faster, let's go.
It wasn't confirmed until about 2.5 weeks after we got back. I wasn't able to get an MRI appointment, so I was just nursing my legs. I stayed off my feet as much as possible, and they confirmed.
It's amazing what adrenaline can do for you.
Yeah.
So I think that you have maybe the most incredible story arc in Amazing Race history. And of course, the most interesting relationship. Was going on the Amazing Race something that either of you had ever considered before you knew you had this amazing story that you could work out?
I think the closest thing to that would have been when I started watching the show with my parents in 2001, and we would watch and they would say, oh my gosh, that's so stupid. We could do better than that. Like we should go on this show. But never really considered it. Honestly, I don't think I would have ever applied with anyone else other than Emily.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. You two were so impressive on The Amazing Race, and I feel like that there was very little that the show could throw at you both that didn't like play into your skill sets. Did you have any idea coming in that you two would do so well on The Amazing Race?
You want to tell about your brother?
So my brother's a fan of the show, and when he found out that we were applying, he right off the bat said, well, if Molly's anything like Emily, they're gonna win.
So we had that confidence going into it.
Yeah.
And we're sort of like jacks of all trades, masters of none. So it wasn't like we ever felt super out of our comfort zones. I don't think. I mean,
between the two of us too, I think we're pretty well rounded.
yeah. Maybe grilling fish was like our weakest point. Sadly.
Neither of us really cook.
Well, I cook. I just
No, I
I don't
cook
cook any meat. Like my husband does all the grilling. I can't even turn on our grill. So
I should have said that. I do cook, but yeah, I don't grill fish.
Did you do anything specifically to prepare for the show? Or does your natural ability set just kind of translate naturally?
We relied mostly on our natural abilities. We, in preparation, like we weren't living together in the same state, so we couldn't practice navigating or anything like that. So I was, getting maps. I ordered maps and tried to like have my husband plan out routes, and I would figure out, but we never did it in the car.
Totally different.
That part is so different. I ran with my backpack.
Yeah, I did some running with my backpack. I did a little working out. I got a few stick shift driving lessons.
Oh yeah.
4 hours total before I went on the show. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah.
So by the moment we found out that we were on the show, we had, I think, 3 weeks, and most teams were probably preparing all, throughout the interview process, but we never believed that we were going to make it through. So yeah, we had a very short period of time to actually get prepped.
Yeah. And I will say, in our defense too, my mom got sick in March, and she actually passed away the week before our final interview. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up. So, preparation for the race wasn't high on my priority list. I was planning her memorial and communicating with family. But I knew that she loves to travel, and this would be a really great way to honor her. And, we ended up in Munich and Austria, Iceland, all these places that she had been. So in addition to the opportunity to get to know Emily, it was a really great opportunity for me to feel connected to my mother. And without this whole process, I don't know that I would have, I look like a mess, but I do think I've been handling the grief and processing a lot better because of this experience with Emily.
Yeah. And Molly, so sorry to hear about your mom's passing, but if anybody is giving you any flack about a lack of preparation before the race, they clearly did not watch the show because you seemed like you had all the preparation that you needed to really do so well. I'm curious to know if after all this time that you didn't spend together, just how much was going on the race together, just sort of like this thing that really made up for a lot of lost time?
It's like ultimate girls trip.
We had an opportunity to make some really incredible memories together that we otherwise would not have. I mean, up until that point, the only way that we connected was through FaceTime or phone calls, like, hey, how was your day? What'd you do this weekend? This gave us a chance to have some deeper conversations and, to do stupid things and teach each other card games. I mean,
all the things that sisters do growing up that we
Yeah.
just didn't have the opportunity. She's has brothers, but never a sister. And I'm an only child, or I was an only child. So yeah, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. And I think, we would love to do the Amazing Race in the non-COVID era, because I think planning and, getting tickets and running through airports and all that would be great. And I
less
think we'd excel in
self-navigation.
that. But we are fortunate that we had the COVID days off where we were forced to be together without a phone, watching movies, doing crossword puzzles, talking about our families. It was really wonderful.
So do you have any plans to travel together again now that or as travel, like, is it just not going to be the same now?
Definitely won't be the same. We'll have to snorkel everywhere we go. I don't know, make it adventurous.
In warmer water.
Yes, please. But we won the trip to Sydney, so I think that's going to be on. Our bucket.
And we're actually just talking about a girls' trip with my mom and her aunt and my daughter. So we hope to plan that. And of course, we have to go back to South Korea together. So
Mhm.
we'll be doing that at some point in the next year and a half, 2 years, hopefully.
Yes.
So
But I've now been to more countries with you than I've been with my husband even. So it's so cool.
the race will do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you two had such an interesting relationship with Michael and Marcus on the race, where you two were both when you were in the front of the pack, that they were there. When you were further behind in the pack, they were there. Was that a rivalry for the two of you with Michael and Marcus?
It was less a rivalry than a friendship.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, I think that Marcus and Michael and Molly and I just naturally bonded together because of our sibling relationships and the fact that they're in the military and they don't get to see one another often, maybe once a year. We were able to relate on that level. So I think just naturally we were kind of brought together. And then I don't know, in terms of our racing,
We just ended up together a lot.
Like proximity was a result of that.
Both Michael and I were too detail oriented building the cart. So we ended up in the back together. And then the next leg, we decided, hey, we're in the back, let's navigate together and get to the front of the pack.
Yeah, I think the group starts kind of
definitely
fed into that.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that you were particularly close to over the course of the race?
Oh gosh, everyone. We love the cast.
Yeah, this was such a strong cast. I think everybody really bonded and forged some really great relationships. We had so much fun last night at the cast party. I think these are all forever friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Lewis and Michelle are just magnetic, and they live in Miami. I live in Palm Beach Gardens. So my husband and I have hung out with them outside of, race events. So they're just wonderful people. But everyone, truthfully, if we all lived in the same city, I feel like we would all be, very close.
We don't have any brochachos though.
No, Marcus and Michael are
Oh,
brochachos.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
You two came up just short in the finale, coming in second place. It seemed like that navigation was the biggest issue in the last leg of the race. Was there anything that you two did differently than you had been doing in the legs where you'd been more successful?
I think we were just really stressed out. I think the pressure just got to us, honestly. We made some really stupid mistakes in this leg.
I was holding back and I shouldn't have. I was nurturing the sister relationship a little bit too much, and I should have been questioning her.
Yeah.
And as the driver, I'm not saying you lost the race for us, but
I don't take the blame. We had other things that weren't shown.
Yeah, we what they showed. I had said initially, this is a musical thing. We're gonna go downtown. We're in Music City. And Emily was like, no, I'm pretty sure we have to go this way over the bridge. And I was just like, okay.
We got directions on a phone, and the woman said to us that her phone maps were not working great. But I think I just kind of ignored it. And it didn't orient us. So the directions said go this way, but really we were supposed to go that way. And I was just relying on the technology.
Yeah.
That wasn't working.
Yeah.
About how much time do you think you lost down to that?
Oh, 10 minutes, more than
That
that.
was probably between 5 and 10. And I don't think it was more than that.
Yeah, because we drove all the way across the bridge.
Oh no,
Then we turned
stopped
around and we
it's
stopped
probably
by
10
the,
minutes.
yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
God.
And it's so hard for us to tell watching the show. Do you know how far behind Derek and Claire you were to check in at the final pit stop?
From what I hear, we were about 10 to 15 minutes behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, time is very difficult to comprehend when you're running the race.
Sure.
Everything feels forever. But from the racers that were there on the mat, I think they thought it was about 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, we killed it in the memory challenge. I mean, Derek and Claire
We were told that they arrived 20 minutes before us, and we left probably within 5 to 10 minutes after them.
Yeah.
It was, we basically had it when they left. We just,
Our legs
our
are
legs
too
were
short.
too short. So yeah, we were pretty close behind them leaving the memory challenge.
There was something about that memory challenge that I I couldn't figure out watching at home. Did it really play a song if you did it in the right order, or was it completely random?
If it did, I didn't notice. I think it was
Oh.
random. Yeah.
I think it was random.
Yeah.
Yeah. That didn't even cross my mind.
Now I'm gonna have to replay it.
Mhm. Would
Maybe
you two?
it was dun, 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 dun. Maybe
I
it
don't
was.
know.
Well, that's what Phil implied it was, but it didn't sound anything like that when we watched it.
Because the rhythm was so off.
Yeah.
Probably.
Would you two consider another season of The Amazing Race for All Stars?
Yes.
Redemption, baby.
Yes. Casting directors. Hear us call.
If you're listening, yeah. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you two making time to talk with us here. I know you have a lot of press to do, but it was so fun to get to watch you both. It's such an amazing story, and so thank you for making the time to chat today.
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
We love your podcast.
Oh,
Thanks.
Emily and
Oh.
Molly, thank you so much. Okay. All right. Yeah, but please don't be strangers. Okay. Take care. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, we are here with Lewis and Michelle from The Amazing Race. Rob and Jess here, and so nice to get the chance to talk to you both. You have such a beautiful background behind you. We were so impressed all season long with your positivity and your energy. And we've seen so many teams crumble on The Amazing Race when they get in these difficult situations. How did you keep that up through your time on The Amazing Race?
Great question, Rob. How do we keep that up? That's
I mean,
We-
for us, I feel like it's been a dream for us to be on the show, and we wanted to get in there and have a great time and show that energy as a couple, as a married couple, that we could be loving, we could have fun and still do a good job on the race.
I feel like there's a lot of past teams that say they didn't enjoy the race as much as they wish they had.
Mhm.
And I heard that a lot from a lot of other teams. And me going into this, I told myself, I want to live this up. And we did. And there were some moments like just driving to the pit stop in Dom, like we're going to the pit stop. Let's just celebrate. Let me bring out my announcer voice and go in. And it's
Give us some
that's what I
announcer
wanna do.
voice, Lewis.
Yeah, stand up and make some noise for your third place team,
Oh.
Lewis and Michelle.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. This energy is 24/7.
Yeah.
Always.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I live life, but it's great. Yeah.
And this is why I married this guy. He is so uplifting, so positive, and that really helped us in the race.
Thanks,
I would love to know from you, how was going on the race? How did it meet your expectations, and how is it different from what you expected going in?
expectations. Obviously, it was a lot harder than we expected.
Yes.
So many, just you can't train for going into the unknown, right? Every single day you wake up and you have no idea what you're gonna do, even 30 seconds before you actually do it. So you can't train for something that's unknown in the future, right? So and that was a lot, but overall, one thing that I do want to say is I didn't expect such a great production crew. They really took care of us. They were great. Everybody behind the scenes, they were so supportive and uplifting. And that was I didn't expect that. Such a great, positive production team behind your back, taking care of you. So
Yeah. And I kind of expected it, but I didn't expect so much navigation. And that is tough. Every single leg, it's not only getting to a challenge and being nervous about the challenge, the whole entire time I had stress on my shoulders trying to navigate him to every single
that was
place.
stressful.
So it was very stressful in that way, but the experience was incredible. So
I think you're losing your voice from so much yelling last night.
Oh, like Derek X, who really, Lewis, he kind of blamed you for the state of his lack of voice today.
Oh yeah. That's not shocking. We had such a great time together last night. Everybody was there. You know, going into the finale party, everybody, you know, we had so many friends and family there, and everybody was like, yeah, they won. They're hosting it. They won. And going into this, I'm like, was this a good idea? People are going to be so disappointed. But we had so much support after losing. You know, we lost to two better teams that day. We had so much support. I don't regret it. You know, everybody was so supportive towards us, and I'm just so happy that we did it. So, yeah. But shout out to Derek. We had a great time.
Yeah, I will share that the first thing you said to me when we got onto this Zoom call was a little bit of a gloat at how you got me, because I was one of those people who figured you're hosting the party. You must have.
Yes.
But
yes,
congratulations. But I do want to talk to Michelle a little bit about the bridge challenge in the finale, because I think maybe my favorite quote from the entire season was, "I love heights." And then it looked like there was maybe a trick to this bridge climbing that you were having a little bit of trouble grasping. What exactly happened there?
So I didn't know how to climb. I've never done anything like that, obviously. But the way I trained for the race, yes, I rappelled off of things, but it was like rock climbing, and it was grabbing onto things and pulling yourself up. And so when I saw that heights challenge, I thought that I had to pull myself, and I was using my upper body strength to go up. And along the way, you had to unclamp yourself. And when I was closer to the top, I realized that it was holding me back. And I was like, I could just walk this. Like, what was wrong with me? But that's also kind of like a racer brain thing that you just don't think of it at the moment, and you just go and do. I also couldn't see Derek from where I was because I was on the other side of the bridge. So I love the heights. I thought it was beautiful. I just did it wrong. But our navigation did play very well because we kept catching up due to navigation.
Yeah. You know, you two had such an interesting run on the race because it seemed like to get out of the gate at the start of the season, it was a little bit of a slower start for you two. And then you just became super dominant, like in the middle to late parts of the race where you had so many first place finishes. As we know, you're big super fans of the show. What was going wrong when you first started in this season?
So yeah, first leg, 10th place. You know, we at first when we finished that leg, we were like in a sad place. Like I was very down from getting 10th place. Michelle lifted me out of that funk that I was in. But after reviewing the leg, that scramble had so many variables that other teams didn't have to go through, that really messed us up. Just the order in which we did the task in that scramble was a terrible order. And we were unlucky to be the furthest from the pit stop. We did the last task that was the furthest from the pit stop. So a lot of things there. So we brought ourselves out of it, you know, and we talked it through. And I'm so proud of how we did, because it takes a lot from going to 10th to 5th from the first leg to the second leg. And from then on, you know, we felt great. We got momentum and we kept on going.
Yeah, and it's a new thing that Amazing Race did. We didn't train for that. We didn't know the scramble.
Mm-hmm.
So it was disappointing because we trained so much for it, and then they put that in our way, and we were frustrated that we got 10th. We at least wanted to be in the middle of the pack from the beginning, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to hear more about what you did to prepare. You keep referring to this training.
Oh,
what did it comprise?
Oh my God. All right. So we physical, mental, right? We obviously worked out. I worked on my cardio. I don't like running. I suck at running. So we did cardio. Other than that, you know, we did everything that we try to duplicate almost everything that we could, from rock climbing to wakeboarding. We did and then the mental stuff was escape rooms. We did escape rooms a lot to work on like our problem solving skills. We played a game of differences. Obviously, you guys know what difference the page, that the two pictures that almost look the same, but there's like 10 differences. We will split the two pictures, put one in one room, put the other one in another room, and run back and forth to spot the differences in each picture, so we came up with a lot of things to get ready and try to replicate as many tasks as we could.
Yeah,
What else am I missing?
Living.
Oh my God,
reading
watching.
Amazing Race.
Yes, what
podcast.
Yes, listening to all the podcasts.
There was
trying to get
no
information.
Netflix at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Billy, maybe you two should start like an Amazing Race camp where people could pay money to come in and then just have you two run them through Amazing Race practice.
That's a great. I'll talk to Claire's mom because I know she did great with that.
Yes,
too,
yes,
so.
you could collaborate on all of that. That'd be great.
Amazing Race University, Amazing Race.
Yeah.
Let's go.
we were all really impressed with your super fandom, culminating in the finale when you spotted Jen and Caroline and knew their song even. Who's the bigger Amazing Race trivia expert between the two of you?
You know what? I think I am. Like I could bring up season numbers. She can. They were in season 24. I mentioned so, and also 22. I think they were in a few seasons before that. And yeah. So yeah. I think I win that prize.
Yeah, I have very good short-term memory. When it starts going further on, I start to forget names, all that stuff. So. I truthfully, I didn't even remember their names, but I did remember the song.
We did. We sing that song sometimes.
That's catchy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I was hoping because I sang
the Amazing Race.
Since I sang it, I was hoping we would win, but
Yeah, well, it didn't work for them either.
Yeah.
Right.
Third place club.
Yeah, right.
Worst company to be in, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm happier getting third because I think second would have hurt a little bit more.
Second would have hurt a lot more.
It's all good.
Do you have any sense of how close it was?
When Derek and Claire ran out of the last task, out of the piano task, we weren't close to finishing. We weren't close. And even though they show me all the time on the race, 100% energy, happy all the time. That was a sadness came over me. Like, it's over. Like, we just lost the Amazing Race. We are not winning first place. We are not winning $1 million. And when they ran out of there was a sadness because like I mentioned, we were not close. I want to say, we were less than an hour before to get first place. And
I mean, the whole race was that close. How they showed it. It was tight the whole entire time, and then once we got to the piano, that's what took us out.
Yeah,
because we did end up catching up to them, and we thought we had a chance until we realized that both of us had to play this piano under 11 seconds.
You guys saw how little I know about instruments. I didn't even know what an acoustic guitar was. I'm like, is this an acoustic? I'm holding an electric guitar. Derek is there spitting out notes. And I'm just like, yeah.
ABC.
Yeah.
I'm like, they nailed it. They nailed it.
I liked what you said. You have the music is in you. You don't need to play an instrument.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just flow with the music. We don't have to read music or anything like that. We play music with our bodies. I don't need an instrument. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Last thing, and I know you got to run. Have you started to think about what you're going to do with all these Expedia points? You have all the points.
With the points, I don't know. Maybe we could go to Walmart and see if they accept our points for cash or something. Some trade-in value. No, I'm kidding. Shout out to Expedia. We're excited to use these points. We have no idea how it works since the first season. They use Expedia. But we're excited. We got a trip to Tokyo,
we have 2 trips,
Barcelona.
So the Amazing Race is still going to continue next year for us because we're going on the trip. So incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so nice to get the chance to talk to both of you. Looking forward to keeping in touch after the season is over. And again, congratulations on a really great season on the show.
Thank you so much. And shout out to you guys. You guys are so entertaining. You guys are hilarious on your podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Listening to you guys. All right.
Appreciate it. All right. All the best.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.